What's up guys, today we will do a Bloodbath card ranking. I already got the level copy here and let's hop right into the ranking. So firstly we got Real Teo's card. It's pretty basic but it's still good decorated. He signed his name not with like a logo or something, but with his cube icon over here. I think you will see like the cube right here or something, maybe, if I remember. Um, firstly we got this, and then this straight fly. I really like the straight fly because there are like these spikes here. It's a bit unclean how they look here, but I don't think you can really do anything about that. The spikes are red, but it's pretty tight, so that's pretty good for Bloodbath. Also, this with the dark glow is pretty nice. These structures going inside of the blocks are also pretty good. These pulse rods are a bit overdose of that. The pixels in the background or like the tiles, yeah, they're also pretty good. Yeah, and that's pretty much the part. So we will get right into the ranking now, and I will show you the list firstly. Okay, so we are going to rank Rio Teo's part now. So I do like the decoration of it. I like the name of Rio Teo's part. I like his logo, the icon. I really like that. Um, the straight fly is tight. There's like those spikes. I really like them. They look good and all. Um, the ball, it's pretty. At first, it looks menacing and all that, but if you get used to the click pattern, it's pretty easy. So I would say Rio Teo's part is a B or an A, but I would say it's firstly a B. Okay, so that's it. Let's get right to the back. Let's get right back to the next part. Okay, so next up we got Vermilion's part. So it's this like red part with these bushes in the like spiky bushes or something, I would say. There's also again I think there's like black glow in this. The ship is like it's really tight at first, but if you get used to it when you play the level, you can see Vermilion signed his name with this pixel. That is actually pretty good design. Then we got, next up we got the ball. It's pretty basic gameplay, straightforward and all that. There's a mirror portal in this, so probably one ranking below, but it's pretty good use of it. Also, there's many of these bushes. I don't really like that there are just so many of them. I think they're just the ground spikes. These things right here, they are also pretty nice. And we got this. I don't think if this is the next parts or it's the Vermilion, but anyway, so we got this ball. Yeah, I would say it, it's pretty good. The mirror portal has good use, and it's pretty hard for what for like it looks simple, but it's pretty hard still. So next up we got this part. You probably all of you probably know which part comes next, but we will firstly get into the ranking of Vermilion's part. Okay, so now we will rank Vermilion. The ball, it was pretty good. It had tight timings. The bush objects on the bottom and the top are pretty pretty overdone. The mirror portal it's okay. It has good use. It's not like impossible gameplay. The first ship of Vermilion, pretty. It looks also like the ball of Rio Teo. It looks menacing at first, but if you know what you're doing, it's pretty easy. Um, I like the transition of it. It's like a hole that's pretty nice. So I would say it's also in B or an A, but I gotta give Wait, I think, yeah, no, I'm going to give Vermilion the B for now. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so next up we got Michigan's part. Probably the hardest part in the level, if not Etza. It is straightforward. It's just like a corridor. I really like it. There's like torches in the back that are like pulsing to the song. This UFO is impossible. It's I would say it's very perfect, but it's probably not. It's still pretty hard. If I could get past it. So yeah, it's a pretty dark part. It's like grayish thing. There's obviously triple spikes with Michigan, by the way. These red chains, are pretty nice. This block design with the half slab things are pretty good with those X's in there. Then this this wave, I mean, is pretty hard. It doesn't look hard, but it is pretty hard. But only that spike, pretty much. That's like the hardest part of this wave. And then we got this. Here's the next part. You can already see a bit of the name that's like coming in. But like this part is a duel. It looks a bit hard at first. It has like this claustrophobic kind of gameplay, but that's really good. But it's only one click. Like you jump up and then it's like here and then it's like here. So it's pretty basic. I think the Vermilion, the next part, asked if they could do a little bit of a gray thing. So Michigan said yeah, and he made this grayish, like this red into gray, which I really like. Yeah. So here's the next part from Evasium. Did I say Vermilion? Okay. Yeah. So that's the part of Michigan. We will get right into the ranking. So yeah. Okay. So next up is Michigan. He already gets okay, so it's like a death corridor, GD reference. So it's like a corridor of death with the triple spikes. I really like them. It's tight flying. It's just tight gameplay, which is pretty good. The the transition into Evasium is really good. Like I like that. How it turns it's like red and then it turns to gray. I really like that. So I would say, and it's Michigan, so it got to be an S. I would say Michigan is just with Michigan again. I would say it's an S. It's just perfect. I would say, like that you could probably like add some more reddish, but also there was some layering issues, so it's still an S. Just it's really good. I would say it's an S still. So let's get into the next part, I would say. Okay, so next up we got Vermilion's part, Evasium's part, not Vermilion we already had. Evasium's part, it starts off with with a ship, which is pretty basic, I would say. It's really tight. Then we got this wave. It's pretty open until like this part. This is also pretty tight, but if you know a click pattern, it's easy pretty much. Even though I died to this. Yeah, this ship, like, this looks pretty good. Like, it's gray, but then it's red, and also in the source it's red. These pillar things, there's actually a hitbox here. I would say you could show it, but that would ruin the effect with the chains. But yeah. Next up we got the UFO of Evasium. It's pretty hard, but when you have like a click pattern, you can actually do it. It's pretty much just always the same design of Evasium. then next up we got probably the reddest part of the level. It's crack. There's also like these heavy bushes which I really like. I would say they really add to the grayish theme. They're like all over here and they're like pretty random, which I would say is pretty good. So yeah, let's get into the ranking of Evasium's part, guys. Yay. By the way, like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 50 subscribers right now, and if you could help, that would mean a lot to me. So yeah, do it, I guess, and also like the video. Maybe 2 likes, 3 likes on this video would make my day. Okay, so let's get into the ranking. Okay, so now we will be ranking Evasium's part. This is the greatest part of the game. Yes, not the level. But it's really great. I like that. It's like the red chains and the grayish blocks and spikes. I really like that. The wave was really tight. The ship was really tight. The UFO, same with the vermilion ball and the ship. It looks really menacing at first, but if you just know what you're doing, it's pretty easy. Like the pink orbs on the bottom to Crack's part, they are pretty good, I would say. It's not the best, but they're still pretty good. So I would give Evasium. So I would say it's I would say it was an I would say it's a T, but I also wanna put it in B. But I will put it in C for at first now. But I will change the list later still, so yeah. Let's get right into Crack's part. Okay, so next up is Crack's part. There are like pretty tight clubstep monsters, which I really like. The design of the eyes is good. These arrows are nice. The heavy bushes are back with like added circles, which I really like. This corridor is pretty good also with the speed changes. These monsters are just copy and pasted in different locations, but they look pretty nice still. Then we got this. Then we got this transition. I really like the use of the Electroman Adventures blocks in the like the corner. We got like this, and he signs his name at the beginning of a Sonic, so that's something, I guess. This spike, it looks like you can just hit it right here, but you don't. It looks also like you could hit it like right here, but now you really gotta hit it late, which I like. So I like the timing. These background blocks are also pretty nice. So yeah, I like also how it's like 2 real spikes and then it's like fake spikes for the background, as if they were going in the background. For some reason, there's like it goes like up and then it goes a bit down. That's a bit odd if you jump like right, like if you go off the block, you are already too late, you will die instantly. So you gotta jump on this block, So yeah, you do this, and then it's a Sonic next. Yes, also I don't know. It probably wasn't cracked, but these blocks are also pretty nice. There's like these Electroman Adventures spikes down there. So I really like it looks like Electroman Adventures, which is probably my favorite main level. So yeah, that is pretty neat. That would be Crack's part, yeah. So we will get right into the ranking of Crack's part in Bloodbath. Get ready. Okay, so next up we will rank Crack's part in Bloodbath. The clubstep monsters are good. I like the eyes. The heavy bushes are back. I really like the heavy bushes. The corridor of death is pretty hard. It's pretty it looks hard. It is hard. There's also a layering issue in that. The arrow is pretty nice. The layering issue isn't that nice. I would say that's not that nice. Not that great, I mean. The clubstep monsters on like the second part are pretty basic. They are copy and pasted a bit. Then we got like the where if you jump too late you fall a pixel off. That's not that great, I would say, but maybe it was intended. The yellow orb is pretty goddamn hard. I like the use of the Electroman adventures blocks in the corners, so I would give this an A or an B. I would say it's an A, a pretty good A. I might put it back to B when I'm finished with the list completely, but we will see the next part now, which is A Sonic Man. Not okay, nice. Okay, so next up we got A Sonic Man's part. It starts off with this pretty easy UFO. This looks really tight, like this corridor with all of the swords. It doesn't even look that great with all the swords. I would say that doesn't look nice. It looks really hard, but like if you have the good click pattern, you can do it. This ball is pretty nice. I like the spam. Right? Let me get back to that. You can. I think you click. You click 5 times. You can click. I think there's also a way to click 3 times somehow. Wait, I'm trying. To only click 3. I don't know. I only get. Yeah, I would say 5 is like the best one. This with the music blocks and the sync and like these grayish blocks in here are pretty good. This is probably still Sonic's part, and then next up we got one of the hardest parts and one of the ugliest parts still. He signed his name with A Sonic, not A Sonic Man. It's just A Sonic. We don't know which one. These cloud blocks are pretty good. I like the how this looks. Like it goes out and then like these blocks are in here with the glow. I really like that. Yeah, I would just. So this is also pretty nice. I like the gray. Like it fits with Evasium and part of Michigan. I really like that. And yeah, that's pretty much just the part. I wouldn't have anything else to say about it. So let's get right into the ranking of A Sonic Man's part. Let's get right into it. Okay, so we will rank A Sonic Man's part now. So first off, the UFO. It is pretty easy. It's probably the easiest part of the level. The saws are pretty ugly. I don't really like how the saws look like when there are a bunch of that. I don't like that. So I would say the spam of the ball is nice. The ball is nice actually. All of that. That's pretty nice. I like that. Like the sync of that. The blue pads, yeah. Also the grayish blocks, I really like them. They fit in with Evasium, but still it's pretty ugly. So like with the bunch of the saws, I would say this is like a D or a C. But we're gonna fill in all of the tiers, so I would say it's a D for now. Maybe I find something worse than this. Or not worse, but another D, and then I might move it up to C. But for now, firstly, this is a D for me. So let's get right into the next part. I think it's Etzer, probably the hardest part and the ugliest part also with Ace. So yeah, let's go get right into that. Okay, so next up we got Etzer's part. This okay, so first off, this looks bad. This looks bad. You see how you see how this just ends there. That looks bad. I like how he signed his name. That's some plus points. It's like at you can't really see the T. The Z is pretty nice, or the Z, I don't know. Okay, so the source he did a really bad job of, I would say. These two clicks are really hard. Whatever he did here, I don't want to know really anymore. Like you don't press this, you don't go up here, you go into this pit, you fall into that. This is pretty basic to find, but I guess for a new player it is pretty hard to find. Now this click into this is probably the one of the hardest clicks in the level. This also looks bad. He really did a bad job with the glow, I would say. And yeah, next up we already got the next part. So yeah, wait to the beginning firstly. Okay, so this I don't like exclamation mark X, and also the glow right here also looks bad. Yeah, I don't really like this. Probably the ugliest part. But you know, it's still pretty hard, so I give points for that. It's an extreme demon after all. You can't have a flawless yeah, okay, no. But you can't have many flawless extremes, I guess. Okay, so next up we got that part, I guess. So let's get right into the ranking of Etzer's part in Bloodbath. Yeah, let's get right into that. Okay, so now we will get into the ranking of Etzer. As I already said, the deco, like the glow, the deco, it really looks bad. That one chain looks really bad. The exclamation mark, the X, I don't really like that. That one saw, into the ceiling, that looked really bad. But it is an extreme demon, so this is probably one of the hardest parts after Michigan, I would say. Yeah, and it's also pretty, yeah, so I give it a D, and I move up a Sonic Man for that. I would say that's how I would rank. Maybe I would do a C too for this, or maybe I could also move up Evasium, but for now I will do nothing here. So yeah, I would say. So yeah, that's my list for now. Let's get right into the next part of Havoc. Havoc. I don't know really, but let's get right into the showcase, I guess. Okay, so now we will get into Havoc's parts. So first off, we start with this really basic ball. It isn't even that hard. These bushes are already overdone. He signed his name in a really cool way, I would say. I really like how he signed it here. These background blocks are also pretty nice. I do like them. The spikes are also red, obviously. It is pretty random gameplay because there's like an invisible block down here somewhere. And also, if you hit this, if you either land here, like you click this orb too late, you die. When you click this orb, you die because there's like a platform for some reason. Yeah, so that isn't really nice. You go into this pretty smoothly. I died here. Maybe you see this right now here. This pink orb pretty easy. you can, if you click this pink or bed, you can like wait, I can show you. Yeah, that can happen where you can't like do anything, so you gotta hit them like separately. This is pretty hard, this saw. If this was a little bit tinier, I would like, it would be much easier. So now this wave, I like these saws and all of this. I really like the design of this, and we already got to the next part over here. So this, it looks really basic, but it isn't the basic that I like, you know. So there's like arrows to lead you. I would say that's pretty nice, because like I don't think any other parts had this, so it's not even that bad, I would say. So this, I would say it gets much more points for this wave, which I really like. So I would say we will rank now. Havoc's part in Bloodbath. He also has like cool glow. He didn't overdo it. I would say it's like pretty good. It's pretty basic. It isn't too bright, and yeah, I really like that. So we will get right into the ranking now. Okay, so now we will be ranking Havoc's part in Bloodbath. The first ball, really basic, but not the kind of basic that I like. That's not that nice. It's really random gameplay with invisible blocks, which does make it a smaller, better number. The UFO afterwards, if you hit the first pink orb, like not separately with clicks, you will die. That one like black saw was not that nice. I like the transition into Giron's part. That was really good. That was like a good transition, I would say. So I will put Havoc's part also in D, I would say. I would just say it's a D. Like it wasn't special, I would say. This looks like a bad list. But well, let's get right into the next part, which is Giron's part. Okay, so now we get into Giron's part. So I don't know if he stole the idea with like these black saws in here, or like he told Havoc if he could do this design. I don't know. This ship with these orbs, this is pretty hard. There's invisible, like a bit of invisible things here. That's pretty good. Like that orb right there. This orb into this, and then like that's pretty hard. Now this is also pretty hard. You really got to know what you're doing here to the past. Like you got to do something. He signed his name here before. He signed his name with just a G. He is Giron again. There's like a spike that's thinking about killing you, but he actually doesn't kill you. And next up we got G-Boy's part already. So I would say, yeah, I don't really have much to say about this part. The heavy bushes are again in the blocks. That's really good. That's something I do like. So yeah, I would say we'll get right into the ranking of Giron's part in Bloodbath. Okay, so now we are ranking Giron's part in Bloodbath. I do like the transition into the ship. It's really good. Those orbs in the ship are really hard. The straight fly is pretty much just easy because I'm good at straight fly, I guess. That dual cube is pretty hard, but you can do it if you understand it. And then he signs his name, which is all pretty basic. I like the heavy bushes that are in the blocks. So I would say Giron's part gets a C or a B, but I will firstly give it a C. That's the list for now. Now we got one last part, and if you're a nerd, two last parts, I guess. But let's get right into the next part of G-Boy or GG-Boy. I don't know really. Okay, so now we got G-Boy's part. Your blood. This is like a nice pixel art. I really like that. These block designs are pretty nice. This I don't really like that. Also this, like, yeah, it's like in every block. These are pretty tight timings for what this level is, which I do like. I like timings. Like this block design it's so simple that it's great again, I would say. I feel like this is a bit of blank, just like nothing over here. It kind of looks like lava, but I don't think that's supposed to be that. These spikes, it's something else. These spikes are something else. I do like that. There's like fake blocks, but you can see them. Like you can see that this is something else. Then these last clicks are pretty hard. And yeah, that's pretty much just the part. It's a bit blank. The background is pretty good with this. So yeah, let's get right into the ranking of G-Boys or GG Boys part, I would say. Okay, so we will be ranking G or GG Boys part. So I do like the Your Blood text. That's pretty good, I would say. Also the timings are pretty tight. The block design is so simple that it's like great. The spikes are something else. I don't think we saw them anywhere, or like I think in Etsa it was something like that. Like the spikes are pretty good. Um, so yeah, I do like that. Um, so I would say I put it in. I don't know, like in B or A. I would say it's like a B for me. So yeah, and also I think we all know Riot's part. Like it's literally what it says on this. It's just a Riot text. There's a triple spike and a heart, and you can do a harder route for Michigan route. I would say it's just an F. I guess he might get some bonus points for verifying, but it's like nothing pretty much. Okay, so I will do like I will wait. Let us, I would say this is um a pretty nice list. I would say Rio Tio gets moved up to A because I like the name and it's a dramatic beginning into a really hard level. So I like that. And I would say that's just the list, guys. So thank you for watching. I might put down the list in the description. By the way, this idea was from the YouTuber Howdy. You can go subscribe to him and also subscribe to me if you would be kind to. I'm trying to hit 50 subscribers and maybe 3 likes on this video would also be nice. So yeah, guys, I would say this is the list. I will put it down in the description. So yeah, why don't you comment what your thoughts on this is? And yeah, I would say goodbye, guys, and have a great day. And yeah, maybe watch this next here on the screen. I think it's like right here or something. So yeah, bye.